getting turned upside down instead of going to, being administered is like overturning, that job overturning. Because it is labeled as a branch or the limbs, 7 limbs. So, why it is labeled as a limb of a branch is because, having the limbs, you can climb to the enlightened state. Followed by then, you meditate on the four imaginaries. And contemplate deeply upon the result and the cause and the result of the four imaginaries. So according to the Salamandan, and temporarily, requesting the merit field to return to their natural abode. But then, if you don't want to, to return them back, you can just also keep in one corner, and later you can dissolve into the front. You can, dissolve the trees, dissolve into the trees, upwards, and then keep them a little high above. And later, when during the front generation practice, you can, like a little bit descend them down, or you can, ask them to go back to natural abode and then revisualize again during the practice of front generation. And then next is the, such generation, oneself arising in the form of the deity. So, whatever whatever has been done up to now is the preliminary level of practice. So the actual practice is classified into two, arising oneself in the form of deity and generating deity in the front. So the very meaning of this mantra, is saying that I myself, and then the deity which I'm going to meditate are empty of inherent existence. So then when you say that all things and events are one in the ultimate nature of emptiness at that time, then you should try to generate the understanding of emptiness that one has developed. Whatever understanding of emptiness that one has developed, then to this point and then contemplate. So, since one has, meditated upon the emptiness, with the drawing all the understanding of the emptiness that one has developed, this is known as the ultimate deity. So then next follows the deity of the sound. So on the basis of that emptiness, then you hear the sound of Om Mani Padme Hum, from the space, like the sound, from the space. So that is the sound of the deity. So among these 6 deities, of the 6 angel deities, this is the second deity.
다들 하에 대관한 일만 지어봐라 한 것습니다. 왜 기울어질 정도 응하진 당중 나가라 저와도 시도 배우는 것이 이렇게 나바신 걸 줄을 생각다 이게 다르겠어.
The next follows the deity of the lateral. While I and the deity are inseparable in suchness, my mind transformed into a moon disk upon which the sound of the mantra, resounding in a space, settled down in respect of the writing letters and so on. So this is the deity of the lateral, third deity.
So in
this case, it is not explained or expressed directly the practice of three kayas taken into the path, but the process of purification is similar. So next is the So, generally there are three ways or three levels with which one arises in the form of deity. The first one is arising in the form of deity instantaneously, and second is arising arising in the form of five so arising in the form of the wisdoms of the five daily Buddhas. And then arising in the form of three ritual performances. So arising instantaneously means arising on the basis of emptiness right away in the form of the deity. So, arising in the form of deity with three ritual performances that on the basis of emptiness, either you arise in the form of syllable or the hand symbol, and then from that deity being generated. So here they explains the arising deity in the form of the three ritual performances, but then they explain clearly the how to arise in the form of deity with the five daily, the wisdom of the five daily Buddhas. Arise. So here it says the letters transform into the 1,000-petal lotus, radiating brilliant light like refined gold marked in the center with marked with Omanipena. And radiating, radiating afterlights from that syllable, and including the moon disk, and radiate forth and filled with the entire space and 10 direction. And then that makes offering to the Buddhas and all Bodhisattvas, with offering filled with like a cloud in space, infinite offering, and make offerings to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And having made offering there, then from there, then infinite nectar descends and purifies each individual sufferings of the six migrating beings of the six realms. And then they are completely satisfied with the happiness of the nectar. And then the deities, in the form of the color, again dissolve back. And then dissolve back to the syllable. The light dissolve back to the syllable and the moon disk. And then that transform, that light transform into, and then arise oneself in the form of, jealousy, with having hand symbols and everything. Followed by then the recitation means to visualize in the form, or to arise in the form of the Samaya beings. And that is known as the deity of the form. So then visualize, the body, speech, and mind marked with three syllables. So since at the heart there's two syllables, two hungs, so both can be placed in the center, in the round. So, or maybe you can put the syllable Shri in the round, or in the drop of the hung. Or visualize the Shri in the drop of the hung, or the round thing on top of the hung. Otherwise, they won't have a place for both on the moon disk. So then the Shri should be visualized in the color white, and naturally performing its own sound of Shri, like very forcefully, naturally, like provoking sound of Shri. Then performing the mudra at the five places with the recitation of Om Pema Om Bhave Om Pe. Om Pema Om Bhave Soha. That is the deity of the mudra. Then radiate light from the from at the heart, and then that invites the wisdom beings from the natural effort.
Maya was a Sabbath, Samaya, Zanza, you can come out to the job as a concert. The bottom of a chain time, but that teaches him, not touch on the Organization. Or like the Mahanet, and Zash do not Malatin.
So then, with the recitation of the mantras, then, you invite infinite wisdom beings from the natural above, dissolve into you, and when it says that, then one complete set reside at your head. And then when it says Hong Bam Horden, same like the usual, then that wisdom being becomes oneness with some oneness with the wisdom being becomes oneness with the Maya beings. And then inviting the 5 DNA Buddhas, the deities of the initiation. And then again, one being initiated by deities such as Kokarmo and so on. And then the initiation waterfall, and then water fills, overflow, and then the crown, then you are offered or adorned with the Amitabha crown. The crown, the head is crowned by Amitabha crowning, and then Vairocana, and like the 5 DNA Buddha crown in the 5 points. At one's heart, then one has to visualize the, wisdom being again, complete form of 1,000 arms, complete form of Avalokiteshvara with one face and 2 arms at the heart. Right hand in the form of giving protection. Left holding a lotus flower and right hand giving the protection. At the heart of that, then you visualize the concentration being this level 3, having natural provoking the lights by itself, sound by itself. But then, having done that complete visualization, then one had to go through again from top to bottom, from top Amitabha to the bottom, complete 1,000 arms and 1,000 eyes, all. You have to get clean, complete visualization of the deity. So in the nature is emptiness, but appearing in the form of deity. So appearing but doesn't have the inherent existence. So in the tantric practice, emptiness, appearing emptiness in the form of deity or in the form of form is its own uncommon characteristic. Is called profound and illumination, or profound and clarity. So profound in this case refers to the emptiness, profound emptiness itself, and clarity refers to the appearances of the deity. That is also in the form of a unified way. In the form of appearances, it's deity. In the form of lacking, in the form of emptiness, then it is profound. So then one has to concentrate or meditate upon the, such a deity which is profound, unified of profound clarity, in one's own Rama and one's own mind, in the form of oneness with.
다 수업도 주면 다 하셔라. 제가 망고 마셔라. 난도 제가 망고라면 메시바 비지 아니야. 빙행진지 공부하시. 빙행진 공부하시. 우리니 작업은 네가 다 제발연 치면 저 유도는 소소는 나든가 조세를 좀 실로나까 예 사우스가 삼로라든가 동만이 같은데 다 사우스가 동만이 던지는 다 야쇼를 했으면.
So this says don't go through for the visualization, then just have to live where there's complete glance appearances, and then if one has proper understanding, or whatever understanding one has in the nature of reality, then one draw and contemplate on that.
그때는 나온도야 사회 소소당 소소는 용중우진 고바단장의 용중 고바단 장년이 표현서서 내가 전도 거마를 소소해서 그러나 난 인자를 손도 누가 따버렸어.
So yeah, also it says that when the entering, abiding, and all these things with the inner life energy and so on, but all these practices may be difficult to complete simultaneously together here. It's like the wind entering, like wind inhalation and exhalation of winds, in more or less similar to the Vajra recitation practice.
같은데 마시는 애들은 내가 시효도 그래서는 대다가 타이콜라 미고서 띵은제 마셔봐 담지고 띵은제 마셔봐 담지고 내는 뭐는 참바던 친구소 그런 마셔봐 시신을 해서 또 띵은 같은 거는 내가 시도했어.
So the main point is the one having proper concentration towards the actual deity without any obstruction by the mental thinking and mental agitations.
So that was serious. Niman Sharaban, Dawa Sharaba, Sashi Chalam Basam Tower, the Chandra. So sometimes you have and Dawa goes on the Wusun, something yours.
Usually, one shouldn't be thinking all of the Shura in a form of just made out of clay or made out of this metal substance, like this kind of statue should be visualizing very clear and luminous, like a sunlight and moonlight, like radiating and pervading all over. So one shouldn't be thinking that image of deity something made out of concrete and solid substance, but instead should be visualizing like an illusory body and very clear and luminous. So, having clear appearance of the deity, and then holding the clear appearances and developing divine pride is more or less like a practice of the generation stage in relation to this practice. So in this case, one should be developing a strong divine pride, or so that oneself is arisen in the form of Avalokiteshvara, not for the sake of oneself, but for the sake of other sentient beings that one is wishing to attain the state of Avalokiteshvara in the future. The similar aspect of Avalokiteshvara in the future. Imagine that oneself arisen in the form of deity is also thus merely imputed on the basis of designation, but it is not appearing from his own side and from his own right. Same case with the reflection of face in the mirror. So you should have the complete collection or gathering of the appearances and emptiness.
나와도 동만이 저를 melon다도 니들 용도 왔어.
Because, for example, when you look into the mirror, you have complete collection of the appearances and the emptiness. Because you have in the mirror, when you look at the mirror, you have the appearance of your face, and also in your mind, you have the emptiness of your face, because you don't believe that as in the real face, you know.
아니 저라서 하고 나와 그냥 안 그게 어떤 나와다마도 변화라서 좀 매서 melon능시 melon는 세진하니.
So, same like the reflection of the face in the mirror, then, appearing oneself in the form of our Lord Geshela is just appearing in the form of deity, but in reality, it lack inherent existence.
단나 논이도 지도 상라서 사세님이 진난저시 비료 5만 남기 타투가 인도에서 진유에서 라버서 다들은 내가 지금
So, with having complete appearance of deity and lacking inherent existence, the understanding of the emptiness, that is the inner yoga of the profound and the luminous or profound and the clarity in accordance with the practice of the lower tantra or the action tantra.
뭐가 그 로벤 참고 산재 사회에서 남정국 취재 당부 취재 난주로 배웠어. 당부 취재 생각에 당만도 뒤 초과를 된 걸로야 취를 요래서 기타 맞던 게 먼저 초과는 요 말통도 초과니와 고초들당 양서 다 맞던 게 있는 만 고소 그랬어.
So it is the cleaning or the or offering bait is important in every session. So
초과직 조사 초과직 고도 봐.
The sadhana it didn't mention, but when you complete one session or one recitation of the complete sadhana during one session, and then starting the next session again you have to distribute the saffron water and do the bath offering. And having distributed the saffron water or the tree, then you have to again recite the Dhamma Umbhave. So, and then followed by then you have to again refuge and bodhicitta. And then follow the sadhana, the second session. And then completing the second session, also during the third session, you do the same way. You distribute the saffron water. And then you recite the mantra Om Dhamma Om Bhave. That is not written clearly in the text, so it's just explaining that way.
다 초배 망고 처음에 뭐 요즘한테 추여서 세세요. 추여도 이게 다제 다 초신 맞은 거로 초신을 주면 보고야 다. 참자고야 다. 그냥 다제 생각나봤다. 다제 강아야 다제가 주면 돼서 빨. 근데 저밥에 진짜가 지고야 다. 근데 또라서 와 산도대 쇼가 추여도 쇼가 가서 남다 쉬고나 주가야 하는 보이나 사는 적도 다질 하지 사소만 양상에는 보이면 차단적 두고 그랬어. 자기도 당도 전부 쉬고
if one is doing the practice in the group, then the one who is in charge of offering all this usually kept quite busy, because when before visualizing the merit field, lighting the incense, and before generating the deity, again, like lighting the butter lamp, and so on, and also before, generating the fun generation, lighting the butter lamp, and so on. Also, lighting the incense before doing, before you engage into the practice of the prayers to the Lineage Lama, and so on. The Lama, so the Pola song.
손도 수도 간사 남편이 하더니 어쩌면서 맞았으나 어찌는 것이 다들 엄배만 다르다 다들 그러잖아요 너무 다 저기 치고 생각했어.
The next is the consecrating the offering to the self-generation.
다들 이제 좋아진 게 라타스나 하나 가서 다 장가해서 가서래. 다pat 때 소와. 그냥 춘딩의 제가 그런 다 두고는 쉬발라면 파트. 근데 rangiserası sabah tüpüyoruz.
Then again, offering to the self-generation, you consecrate, and then emanate, the offering goddesses, and then make offer to oneself, in the form of deities. And then perform with mudras, holding a bajra and bell. And then the prayers through the prayers with the prostration. Next is the blessing the rosary.
I do wonder what things is some Tanga. To wear an incident that she sembra. She's a positive to all the things is some you are about. The waiting will give Tatalia and wonder about you what to go up to.
Then next is the visualization of the recitation of the mantra. But in this case, at once, how we have visualized the wisdom being in the form of Avalokiteshvara 1+1. And at the heart of that Avalokiteshvara, then you have the syllable hum surrounded by the mantras.
And that's really the end of the past. I don't know the end of our laws was an Yagris.
Then maybe in this case, you can imagine that syllable Shri, is one's own being or oneself. And then, the Shri is like chanting the mantra or reciting the mantra would be easier. Because otherwise, there will be many obligations, such as, you have to, recite mantra, and again, you have to look at the mantra, and then, chanting the mantra. So there's three different obligations. So instead, then, you just imagine that, Shri is one's own being, and you're reciting the mantra, and with that, then you chant the mantra. So usually, when you talk about reciting the mantra, the recitation, then it should be done. That mantra, one can hear, just recite, just in that, which makes one can hear, but others can't hear. But then since the leader or the chanter have to recite first one to make sure the others can hear that this is the period where we're reciting mantra. So first he or she will chant loudly. And followed by then until then from there then you just recite that's the sound which you can hear by yourself. Then visualize in the Avalokiteshvara and then the syllables the concentration being in the center and very clearly, properly, and then with that visualization, carry on the mantra recitations. So usually there are three different levels of recitations. One is like heap, like a recitation, which means that it's similar like that. You have a mandala in the mandala offering. If you put a crystal mala around, and the mandala being visualized in that way, and reciting the mantras.
주둔 대화가 다랑아 두원을 세트를 조지서 저왔다 잡았던 걸 야트에 치바야 그 고유신라 어지러서 고 송비신라 생활 송고 두고 신라들 다 장전을 소된 나와 보는 말은 마시는 장자시야. 그 성질에서 봐. 이제 성질에서 나가 두원에 그래서 나가 여기 나한테 가는 시점에 선제 통제기 뭐 하는 바와 고마를 보는 상말로 선제 통제를 하고 있지는 건데 당말로 님도 정의 이것은 상말로 님도 정의 이것만 찾는 거라.
And then the second level of recitation is that radiating light from that mantras and radiating towards different directions, bliss and bodhisattvas, hooking back all the realizations and powers and blessings, and then radiating towards the sentient beings and purifying their negativities, and also entire sentient being and the deities and oneself reciting the mantras, imagining in that kind of way.
그러면 거라랑가 두고는 그 요거도 꼬와를 세트 랑가 루기 나한테 그 드리탐서 다 그래서 치트바 주지만 가서 빠졌나 봐. 선생님 담자가 드리서 봐봐 고마워. 그래서 수도 두고를 했던 말이었어. 너무나 너무 로드 시켜는 도왔어.
So there are also rough visualization is mentioned within the sadhana itself, that first radiating light from this level and filling up nectar entire one's body and purifying one's own negativities, and then radiating forth towards different direction, and then making offering and dissolving the blessing bag and so on.
단지 초과를 해야 되는 따라따라 자단 맞지? 많은 동안을 정해졌어.
So in each session then you recite this mantra Dara 1,000 times. And then
100
times, and then Om Mani Padme Hum 100 times, Mani Padme Hum 1,000 times. Internet.
그 칼라사한다야 초고니 동안 연상하는 자금을 눈때 비거시는 좀 맛이 빈년가 되는 마음이 고원니까 돼 나세님가다 대 많은 동안을 당한 되고 이 정말 그건 정원식으로 했어.
So the first day, since you have to have meals, maybe if you can complete the sessions.
So what's
if you can't complete the sessions before the right time, then maybe you can do less. But there's no excuses given. But if there's time difficulties, then you can do less. But then the actual day, the fasting day, then you have to complete the recitations.
당원가가 뭐가 대체 근데 간사람이 말로서 중간 발라면 네 미고데 마예래 가는 발라면 보면서
He said that initially you do the actual visualization of the recitation of the mantra, and followed by later, then without forgetting imagine that the visualizations are still there, and then contemplate on the meanings of the lamrim, such as mind of renunciation and bodhicitta. While reciting the mantra, you can meditate on lamrim as well. So meantime, also, you still focus the actual visualization of mantra in between, so that you can completely forget. This is the general procedure of the recitation of the mantra.
Then
having recited 1,000 times Om Mani Padme Hum, then you recite the Pema Sutta Samadhi 100-syllable mantra, and then purify the wrongly recited mantras, and then incomplete mantras. Om Mani Padme Hum 1,000 times. So usually they recite 1,000 times Om Mani Padme. So the actual procedure as to how to recite the mantra is mentioned down below.
other Benatan, the Benanga, Jordan, and bigger you master Mayimba, Ted and Danto Mayimba.
So, while reciting the mantra, you shouldn't be too fast so that you drop off some words or you leave out some words, or you shouldn't be too slow that you chanting melodiously. Shouldn't be like that way, without any distraction.
That's it, and me, I'm just
you shouldn't be reciting loudly so that you disturb other people. And you shouldn't show that only you got the mouth, the others haven't got the mouth to recite mantra.
Yeah. And
also you shouldn't recite like as if you didn't have any mouth. That you can't even hear yourself. And also, during the mantra recitation, you shouldn't be yawning, because that day you feel hungry, so a lot of yawnings come out. So, if that happens, then you recite more mantra to purify that. Because it's, one day and one night, one day and overnight, like you're doing great things. So you have to be very careful about it. All this. You shouldn't sleep during the mantra recitation. So it is said that during the Nyung and the fasting day, you shouldn't lay down. Even if you feel like sleeping, you shouldn't lay down. If possible, sit in the proper position. Even if you have to sleep, just sit. It says during the fasting day, during the day, if you are able to bear and then don't go for nap or sleep, then nighttime you can go for sleep properly. Then nighttime, then you can sleep properly, and the next morning it's easy. The thing is usually that we go to sleep during the day, go for nap, and nighttime you can't sleep. You have very hard time during nighttime, and the next morning you have very difficult time. So on the fasting day, if possible, you just don't go for nap. Either you do circumambulations or recitation of mantra. Instead, if you go for nap on that day, then that that rises up, or that produces the bile to rise, and that activate. And in the night time, then you have a headache. The next morning you have a very hard time. Then you can't prostrate, and you will be like there's vomiting and all these things arise. So the first set and second set, you might face some difficulties, but then from the third and fourth, then you get easier and easier. You enjoy more and more this practice. And then you feel your body also become very light, and then your mind also feel very relaxed and comfortable. But if you were to look at your body, then it goes skinner and skinner, like more. But then you feel very light body and comfortable body, and the mind feel more relaxed. usually what we do is that on the fasting day, we stretch our leg and go for sleep and all these things. And the next morning you face a lot of difficulties, So if possible, you don't go for nap in that fasting day and try to do, as much as. And then next morning might feel much easier. Because if you fall asleep during the mantra recitation, you even drop your mala. So if that were to happen, then you have to recite more mantras again. So you drop your mala from your hand, and you drop your hand in front of you. So in up there, when they do Nyung, they have one discipline. One person, the person who is in charge of offering in the altar, he is always walking up and down, and then he makes sure that everyone is not falling asleep. And if someone is falling asleep, then he wakes up. So since everyone is, arise in the form of tendency, maybe no one will be getting angry of that person. Geshela says it will be very sad because when you do Nyung, you arise in the form of tendency. When someone wakes you up, if you generate anger, it would be very sad to me. Then up there, when they do they recite the complete mantra, like 100,000, like 1,000 times the Manipennahu mantra, and then the long mantra 100 times. But here, maybe also the environment is, and then maybe also long mantras are very difficult to recite. Maybe you can try as best as you can. Especially if newcomers or who wants to do Nyung, then they try as best as they can, even if they can't complete all. But then, but then on the other hand, even if one is doing only one set, one should try more purely and properly. Seems best. And the next is the visualization of the prime generation deity, deity in the front. Then, at that time, from one's heart radiate, light, and then the wrathful deities, and purify the obstacles and interferences to the mandala house. And then, they also specify the mandala house in emptiness, and then from one's heart, goes the syllable to, from one's heart syllable Shri, then eminent syllable Dum, which have kind of five, radiating five levels of color or variegated color, and then it goes to the central of the mandala. And then that transforms into the variegated lotus, And then from that, then there's 5 variegated Vajra is generated.
And then
from that, then the entire mandalas and villas, square and having 4 doorways.